Kayla stood in the quiet of her dimly lit room, staring at her phone. The screen glowed softly, illuminating her face in the dark. She felt a familiar ache in her heart, a heavy sadness that had settled there since her best friend Marcus moved away months ago. They had shared countless adventures, laughter, and dreams, but now, miles apart, it felt as if a part of her was missing. She remembered the last day they spent together. The sun was shining brightly, and they had gone to their favorite park. They joked about everything, from silly childhood memories to their hopes for the future. But as they hugged goodbye, Kayla felt the distance creeping in, a cold reminder that their lives were about to change. Marcus had promised to stay in touch, but as days turned into weeks, their conversations became less frequent. It hurt her, more than she cared to admit. Kayla missed the way they could talk for hours about anything and everything. She missed his laughter and the way he always knew how to make her feel better. She felt distant from him now, as if a wall had been built between them, and she didn't know how to break it down. The thought of reaching out scared her. What if he was too busy with his new life? What if he had forgotten about her? One evening, she decided to take a walk to clear her mind. The cool breeze brushed against her skin, and the stars twinkled above her like distant friends. As she walked through the neighborhood, memories of Marcus flooded her thoughts. She remembered their late-night talks and how they used to dream about traveling the world together. She felt a pang of sadness at the thought that those dreams might never come true. Kayla reached the old oak tree where they used to sit and talk for hours. She leaned against it, closing her eyes. "I wish you were here, Marcus," she whispered, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know how to reach you anymore." The quiet stillness of the night echoed her words back to her, amplifying her loneliness. After a few moments, she pulled out her phone and hesitated. Should she send him a text? What if he didn't respond? But then she remembered their friendship, the bond they had built over the years. She took a deep breath and began to type. "Hey, Marcus, I hope you're doing well. I miss you a lot. Can we talk soon?" She hit send and stared at the screen, waiting for a reply. Seconds turned into minutes, and her heart raced with every passing moment. Just as she began to doubt herself, her phone buzzed. "Hey, Kayla, I miss you too. Let's video chat tomorrow?" A wave of relief washed over her. She couldn't believe he still cared. The excitement bubbled within her, pushing away the shadows of doubt that had followed her. They set a time for the next day, and Kayla felt a flicker of hope ignite in her heart. The next evening, she prepared for their call like it was a special date. She tidied her room, brushed her hair, and even put on her favorite shirt. As the time approached, her nerves began to build. What would they talk about? Would it be awkward? But she reminded herself that they were friends, and true friends could always find their way back to each other. When the call finally connected, Kayla's heart raced. There he was, Marcus, smiling at her from his new home. His room looked different, but his smile was the same. "Hey, you look great," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "Thanks. You too. How's everything going?" she asked, trying to hide her excitement. They talked for hours, catching up on everything. Marcus shared stories about his new school, the friends he had made, and the adventures he had experienced. Kayla listened intently, laughing at his jokes and feeling the warmth of their connection return. It was as if no time had passed at all. As the conversation flowed, Kayla felt the distance between them shrinking. She realized that even though they were far apart, their friendship was still strong. They could still share their lives, their dreams, and their fears, no matter the miles that separated them. "Do you remember that time we got lost on our way to the concert?" Marcus asked, his eyes sparkling with nostalgia. Kayla laughed, recalling the wild adventure they had. "Of course. We ended up at that little diner and had the best milkshakes ever. They continued reminiscing, each memory bringing them closer. Kayla felt a sense of hope growing within her. Their friendship wasn't broken. It had simply changed, adapting to their new lives. They could still be a part of each other's journeys, supporting one another from afar. As the call came to an end, Kayla felt lighter. "I'm so glad we did this," she said, her heart full. "I really miss you." "I miss you too, Kayla. Let's keep talking." "I don't want to lose what we have," Marcus replied, sincerity in his voice. After they hung up, Kayla felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that distance couldn't diminish the bond they shared. It only made their friendship stronger. She picked up her phone again and sent him a message. "Let's plan a trip together. We can explore new places and make new memories." With each word, her excitement grew. She was ready to embrace the future, ready to reconnect with her friend, no matter the distance. Kayla woke up the next morning, feeling a sense of excitement that had been missing for weeks. After her video call with Marcus, she realized that their friendship could still thrive despite the distance. She felt a spark of hope, and it filled her with energy. Yet, beneath that hope, a small worry lingered in her mind. What if that connection faded again? As she prepared for the day, Kayla thought about how important it was to keep in touch. She wanted to be a part of Marcus's life, just as he was a part of hers. But how? Would texting be enough? Should she call him more often? The thought of losing touch again made her heart ache. After breakfast, she decided to take a walk to clear her mind. The sun was shining brightly, and the world felt alive around her. She walked through the park where she and Marcus had spent so many afternoons. The laughter and joy of their shared memories felt bittersweet. Each tree, each bench, held echoes of their time together, and she missed him even more in that moment. As she strolled, Kayla noticed other people enjoying their day. A young couple sat on a bench, sharing ice cream and laughter. A group of friends played frisbee nearby, their shouts of joy ringing through the air. She smiled at them, but couldn't help feeling a little lonely. She longed for someone to share those moments with, someone who understood her the way Marcus did. Suddenly, she stopped at the old oak tree where they had once carved their initials. The bark was rough, and the carvings were still visible, a testament to their friendship. Kayla pressed her palm against the tree, feeling a connection to the past. "I wish you were here, Marcus," she whispered. "I want to make new memories with you." Inspired, she pulled out her phone and opened her messaging app. She typed a message to Marcus, her fingers trembling with excitement. "Hey, I have an idea. Let's do a virtual adventure together this weekend. We can explore a new place online and share it like we used to." After hitting send, Kayla felt a rush of anticipation. It was a small step, but it felt significant. She wanted to bridge the gap, to make sure their friendship stayed alive and vibrant despite the distance. She knew they could find ways to share experiences, even if they weren't physically together. The rest of the day passed slowly, each hour stretching as she waited for a response. She kept checking her phone, her heart racing every time it buzzed. Finally, late in the afternoon, her screen lit up with a message from Marcus. "Sounds awesome. I'm in. What do you have in mind?" Kayla smiled, her heart soaring. "How about we explore a virtual museum? There are so many amazing ones online. Great idea. Let's meet at 3 p.m. on Saturday." "I can't wait." As she read his message, Kayla felt a wave of relief wash over her. They were planning something together, something that would allow them to connect despite the miles. She spent the next few days researching different museums and exhibitions, excited to share her findings with Marcus. Saturday arrived quickly, and Kayla was buzzing with energy. She set up her laptop and prepared her snacks, making sure everything was ready for their virtual adventure. When the clock struck 3 p.m., she logged into the video call, her heart racing with anticipation. "Hey, Kayla," Marcus greeted, his face lighting up the screen. "You're ready for this?" "Absolutely. I've got popcorn and everything," she replied, her smile wide. They began their virtual tour, exploring the exhibits together. They marveled at ancient artifacts, laughed at quirky art pieces, and shared their thoughts about each exhibit. The distance between them felt smaller with each passing moment. They even joked about how they would have loved to be there in person, experiencing the wonder. Side by side, as they navigated through the museum, Kayla felt a sense of joy that she hadn't felt in a long time. It was as if the walls that had built up between them were crumbling away, allowing their friendship to flourish once more. They reminisced about their past adventures and talked about their dreams for the future. "Do you remember that time we got lost trying to find the concert?" Kayla asked, laughing. "How could I forget? We ended up at that little diner and had the best milkshakes." Marcus replied, his eyes sparkling with memories. Their laughter echoed through the call, filling Kayla with warmth. It felt good to reconnect, to share this experience, and to feel that bond grow stronger. As the tour continued, she realized that distance didn't have to mean separation. They could create new memories, no matter where they were in the world. After the virtual tour ended, they sat in comfortable silence for a moment, both of them. Kayla woke up the next morning feeling lighter than she had in weeks. Her virtual adventure with Marcus had filled her with joy and hope. They had laughed, shared stories, and even made plans for future explorations. Yet there was still a lingering worry in her heart. What if life got in the way again? What if their connection faded once more? Determined to keep their friendship strong, Kayla decided to take action. She wanted to create a regular routine that would allow them to stay close despite the distance. After some thought, she came up with an idea. They could start a book club. Reading the same book and discussing it together would give them something to look forward to each week. Excited by the idea, Kayla grabbed her phone and texted Marcus. "Hey, how about we start a book club? We can each pick a book to read and then chat about it every week. What do you think?" She sent the message and waited anxiously for his reply. Seconds felt like hours as she bit her lip, hoping he would. Love the idea. Finally, her phone buzzed. "I love it. Let's do it. What book should we start with?" Marcus replied. Kayla felt a rush of relief and happiness. They were on the same page, literally and figuratively. She spent the rest of the day researching popular books, looking for something they would both enjoy. Later that evening, after some searching, she settled on a fantasy novel that had captivated her. It had adventure, friendship, and magic, all things they both loved. She sent Marcus a message with the title and a brief summary. "How about this one? It's called The Enchanted Forest. It's about two friends who go on a magical journey. I think we'll both love it." Marcus replied almost immediately. "Sounds amazing. Let's start reading it this week, and we can talk about it next." Saturday. Kayla felt a wave of excitement. They had a plan, and it felt good to have something to focus on together. She spent the next few days eagerly reading the book, losing herself in its pages. As she read, she imagined discussing the characters and plot twists with Marcus. When Saturday arrived, she was bubbling with anticipation. They set up another video call, and Kayla could hardly contain her excitement. As soon as Marcus appeared on the screen, her heart raced. "Hey, Kayla, I can't wait to talk about the book," he said, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "Me too. I loved it. What did you think?" Kayla asked, her smile wide. They dove into a lively discussion, sharing their favorite moments and characters. Kayla felt the distance that had once felt so overwhelming begin to shrink. Each laugh they shared, each opinion they exchanged, made her feel closer to him. As they talked, Kayla realized how much she had missed this connection. It was like a warm blanket on a cold night, comforting and familiar. She could see Marcus's passion for the story, and it reminded her of the countless hours they had spent discussing their favorite movies and shows. "Did you see how brave the main character was?" Marcus exclaimed. "I wish I could be like that." "You are brave, Marcus. You moved away and started fresh in a new place." "That takes courage," Kayla replied, feeling proud of her friend. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and for the first time since Marcus had moved, Kayla felt truly happy. They even made plans to read another book together, discussing the themes and characters over the next few weeks. As the call came to an end, Kayla felt a sense of fulfillment. They had created a new routine, a way to share their lives without letting distance come between them. After hanging up, Kayla sat back and reflected on how far they had come. She remembered the day when she felt so lost and distant from Marcus, unsure of how to reconnect. Now they had found a way to bridge the gap, to keep their friendship alive and thriving. The days turned into weeks, and their book club became a cherished part of Kayla's routine. They explored different genres, from mysteries to science fiction, each story sparking new conversations and laughter. Kayla looked forward to their weekly chats, feeling a sense of joy that had been missing for so long. One evening, after finishing another book, Kayla had an idea. She wanted to do something special for Marcus as a surprise, to show how much she appreciated their friendship. She decided to create a scrapbook of their memories together. She would include photos from their adventures, quotes from their favorite books, and even notes about their inside jokes. Kayla spent hours gathering pictures, printing them out, and writing little captions. Each memory brought a smile to her face. She felt grateful for the time they had shared and excited to remind Marcus of their bond. Finally, after finishing the scrapbook, she wrapped it carefully and sent it to Marcus. She couldn't wait for him to receive it. A few days later, her phone buzzed with a message. It was a video from Marcus. "Kayla, I just got your package. This is amazing," he said, holding up the scrapbook with a huge smile on his face. "You put so much thought into this. I can't believe you remembered all these moments." Kayla felt her heart swell with happiness. "I just wanted you to know how much our friendship means to me," she replied, her eyes shining. "I miss you so much," Marcus admitted, his expression serious. "But this makes me feel closer to you, like you're right here with me." "I feel the same way," Kayla said softly. "We may be far apart, but we can still share our lives. I'm so glad we started our book club." Their conversation continued, filled with laughter and warmth. Kayla realized that even though they couldn't be together physically, their friendship was stronger than ever. They had found ways to connect, to support each other, and to share their lives, no matter the distance. As they wrapped up their call, Kayla felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had learned that friendships could endure challenges, and with a little effort and creativity, they could flourish. She smiled to herself, feeling grateful for Marcus and the bond they shared. That night, as she lay in bed, she thought about their journey. She had faced her fears, taken steps to reconnect, and had discovered the strength of their friendship. With a heart full of hope, she whispered into the quiet night, "I'll always find a way to reach you, Marcus." Kayla woke up with a smile, remembering the fun she had during her last call with Marcus. Their book club had become a bright spot in her life, a way to keep their friendship alive despite the distance. But as the days passed, she began to worry again. What if life got busy for both of them? What if they started to drift apart again? The thought made her heart sink. Determined not to let that happen, Kayla decided to take action. She wanted to create something special that would remind both of them of their friendship. After thinking for a while, she had an idea. A friendship jar. She would fill it with notes, quotes, and memories they had shared. Each note would be a reminder of the good times, something they could look back on whenever they felt distant. Kayla spent the next few days collecting materials. She found an empty jar in her room and decorated it with bright colors and stickers that reminded her of Marcus. She wrote down funny memories, heartfelt quotes from their favorite books, and even little messages of encouragement. Each note brought a smile to her face as she remembered the moments they had shared. Finally, after filling the jar with notes, she felt ready to send it to Marcus. She wanted him to know that no matter how far apart they were, he was always in her heart. She carefully packaged the jar, added a handwritten letter expressing her feelings, and sent it off. After a few days, Kayla received a message from Marcus. "Hey, I got your jar. It's amazing," he wrote. "I can't believe you did this for me. I love all the memories you included." Kayla felt a rush of joy. "I'm so glad you like it. I wanted us to have something to remind us of our friendship." They began to chat about the notes in the jar, sharing stories and laughing about the memories. Kayla felt the distance between them shrink with each message. They were reconnecting, and it felt wonderful. As the weeks went on, Kayla noticed a change in herself. She felt more confident and hopeful. The friendship jar had sparked something in her, a realization that she could actively work to keep their bond strong. Inspired, she decided to plan a virtual game night for them. "Hey, Marcus, how about a virtual game night this Friday? We can play some online games together," Kayla suggested in a text. "Sounds awesome. I'm in." Marcus replied quickly. Kayla spent the next few days preparing. She researched different games they could play and even created a fun playlist of their favorite songs to play in the background. She wanted the night to be special, a way to celebrate their friendship. When Friday arrived, Kayla was buzzing with excitement. She set up her laptop, prepared some snacks, and made sure everything was ready for their game night. At 7 p.m., they logged into the video call, both of them smiling and ready to have fun. "Hey, Kyla, I've been looking forward to this," Marcus said, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "Me too. Let's start with a trivia game," Kayla suggested. They played game after game, laughing and cheering each other on. Sometimes they got competitive, but it was all in good fun. Kayla felt as if they were in the same room, enjoying each other's company. The distance faded away, replaced by the joy of their friendship. In between games, they talked about their lives. Marcus shared stories about his new friends and experiences, while Kayla opened up about her school and hobbies. It felt good to be connected, to know what was happening in each other's lives. As the night went on, they decided to play a game that required teamwork. It was a challenge where they had to solve puzzles together. Kayla sat at her desk, staring at her laptop screen. The soft glow illuminated her face, but her heart felt heavy. It had been weeks since she and Marcus had started their photo challenge, and while it brought joy, she still felt the distance that lingered. They were sharing their lives through pictures, but she missed the deeper conversations, the laughter, and the feeling of being together. After their last call, she had felt so hopeful. Yet as time passed, Kayla began to worry. What if the distance started to affect their connection again? What if they drifted apart? The fear gnawed at her, making her restless. Determined to keep their friendship strong, Kayla decided she needed to be more proactive. She wanted to do something special, something that would remind Marcus of their amazing bond. Then an idea struck her. She would write him a letter. Not just any letter, but one filled with her thoughts, feelings, and memories. A letter that would show him how much he meant to her. Kayla grabbed a notebook and a colorful pen, feeling excited about it. Her plan. She began to write, "Dear Marcus, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to take a moment to tell you how much I appreciate our friendship. Even though you're far away, our connection means the world to me. I've loved our photo challenge and our game nights. They remind me of all the fun we've had together. Remember that time we got lost on our way to the concert? We ended up at that little diner and had the best milkshakes. I still laugh every time I think about it. You always know how to make me smile, even from a distance. I really miss hanging out with you in person. I miss our late-night talks and sharing our dreams. I want to make sure we keep these moments alive, no matter how far apart we are. I'm grateful for you, Marcus. Thank you for being such a wonderful friend. I hope we can create even more memories together, even if it's through screens for. Now, take care, and I can't wait to hear from you. Love, Kayla. As she finished the letter, Kayla felt a wave of relief wash over her. Writing it had allowed her to pour out her feelings, and she hoped it would strengthen their bond. She carefully folded the letter and placed it in an envelope. Then she decided to add a little surprise. Along with the letter, she included a small drawing of the two of them at their favorite park, laughing and sharing ice cream. Kyla headed to the post office, her heart racing with excitement. She could only imagine how Marcus would react when he received it. Would it make him smile? Would it remind him of all the good times they had shared? A few days later, Kayla received a message from Marcus. "Hey, I got your letter today. It made my day," he wrote, his excitement evident through the screen. "I loved the drawing. It really brought back great memories." Kayla felt a rush of happiness. "I'm so glad. I wanted you to know how much I care about our friendship," she replied. They began to chat about the letter, and Marcus shared how he had been feeling distant too. "Sometimes I worry that we're losing touch, but your letter reminded me that our friendship is still strong," he confessed. "I feel the same way," Kayla admitted. "I want to make sure we stay connected. You're too important to me." There, conversation flowed easily, filled with laughter and understanding. It felt good to open up, and Kyla realized that expressing her feelings had created a deeper connection between them. Inspired by their talk, Kyla suggested another idea. What if we start a weekly check-in? Just a quick call to see how we're doing and share what's been going on in our lives. "Great idea. I'd love that," Marcus replied enthusiastically. "Let's do it every Wednesday evening." They agreed on a time, and Kayla felt a renewed sense of hope. This simple act of checking in would help them stay connected and ensure that their friendship continued to grow. Even from afar. The following Wednesday, Kayla set up her laptop, excited for their first check-in. When Marcus logged in, his face lit up the screen, and Kayla couldn't help but smile. "Hey, you," she said, feeling a rush of joy. "Hey, Kayla. How's it going?" he asked, his eyes sparkling. They spent the next hour catching up on everything. Marcus shared stories about his new school, his classes, and the friends he had made. Kyla talked about her own life, her hobbies, and the little things that brought her joy. They laughed together, sharing funny anecdotes and encouraging each other through challenges. As they talked, Kayla felt the distance between them shrink. It was as if they were sitting side by side, just like old times. She realized how important these check-ins would be for both of them. They needed this connection, this space to share their thoughts and feelings. After their call, Kayla felt energized and happy. She had taken steps to reconnect, and it was paying off. The worries that had once filled her mind began to fade away. She knew they could face anything together, no matter the miles that separated them. In the weeks that followed, their Wednesday check-ins became a cherished routine. They shared everything big and small, creating a rhythm of connection that felt comforting. Kayla looked forward to hearing about Marcus's day, just as much as he looked forward to hearing about hers. One evening, as they wrapped up their call, Marcus said, "You know, Kayla, I think we're doing a really great job of staying connected. I'm so grateful for you." "Me too, Marcus. I feel like we're closer than ever, even with the distance," Kayla replied, her heart full as they exchanged goodbyes. Kayla reflected on how far they had come. They had faced the challenge of distance head-on, transforming it into an opportunity to strengthen their bond. She felt proud of their friendship, knowing that they had found ways to keep it alive. That night, as she lay in bed, Kayla thought about all the memories they still had to create. She envisioned future adventures, whether they were virtual or in person. She realized that true friendship could withstand any challenge, and with hope and effort, they could overcome anything. With a smile on her face, she whispered into the quiet night, "I'll always find a way to reach you, Marcus." It was a promise, a reminder that their friendship was strong, and together they could conquer anything life threw their way. Kayla woke up one sunny Saturday morning, feeling a sense of excitement in the air. It had been several weeks since she and Marcus started their Wednesday check-ins, and it had helped bridge the distance between them. However, a feeling of sadness lingered in her heart. She missed the spontaneous adventures they used to have together, the times they would just hang out without a plan. As she prepared breakfast, thoughts of Marcus filled her mind. He had moved away a few months ago, and while they had found ways to connect, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still missing. She wanted to create new memories, not just relive old ones through their calls and photos. After breakfast, Kayla decided to take a walk to clear her mind. The weather was perfect, with a gentle breeze blowing through the trees. As she walked through the park, she noticed families playing, couples laughing, and kids running around. It was a beautiful day, but it only reminded her of how much she missed sharing moments like these with Marcus. Suddenly, she spotted the old oak tree where they had spent so many afternoons together. She approached it, leaning against the trunk and closing her eyes. Memories rushed back, their laughter, the ice cream they shared, the dreams they talked about. She wished Marcus was there with her, enjoying the sunshine and the warmth of friendship. Feeling inspired, Kayla pulled out her phone and texted Marcus. "Hey, I've been thinking, what if we plan a virtual adventure day? We can pick a theme and do activities around it. It could be like a mini road trip from our homes." She hit send and waited for a reply, her heart racing with anticipation. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed. "That sounds amazing. I'm in. What theme should we pick?" Kayla felt a surge of excitement. "How about nature? We can each explore our local parks and share what we find." "Perfect. Let's meet at 2 p.m., Marcus replied. The rest of the day flew by as she prepared for their virtual adventure. She made a list of fun activities they could do together, like taking photos of interesting plants and animals, or even cooking a nature-themed snack. She wanted it to be special, something that would help them feel connected despite the distance. At 2 p.m., Kayla logged onto the video call, a big smile on her face. "Hey, Marcus. Ready for our adventure?" "Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this all week," Marcus replied, his excitement matching hers. They both shared their plans for the day. Kayla explained her idea of taking photos and cooking a nature-themed snack. Marcus had his own ideas, too. "I found a beautiful trail near my place. I can't wait to show you." With their plans set, they began their adventure. Kayla decided to start with a quick walk around her neighborhood. She grabbed her phone and headed outside, feeling the warmth of the sun on her skin. As she walked, she took pictures of flowers, trees, and even a cute squirrel that scurried across her path. "Look at this flower I found," Kayla said, holding up her phone to show Marcus. "It's so pretty." "Wow, that's beautiful. Nature is amazing," Marcus replied. I'm at the trail now. I'll send you some pictures of what I see." As they shared their discoveries, Kayla felt a rush of happiness. They were exploring together, even if it was through a screen. It felt like old times when they would show each other their favorite spots in the park. After their walk, they returned to their respective homes to prepare their nature-themed snacks. Kyla decided to make a fruit salad using colorful fruits that reminded